Welcome all to Uptime.com's very first installment in our webinar series, Become an Expert in Website Monitoring. My name is Milo Peterson, and I am the Customer Success Advisor, and I will be your host for today's session. The intent of this series is to illustrate via discussion and demonstration how to become an expert in the three pillars of website availability, namely monitoring, alerting, and reporting. This is just the first of many planned sessions. We will be hosting a monthly webinar discussion that will focus on key areas of website availability from high-level practices to exact implementation. Today, we will discuss industry best practices, plus how Uptime utilizes these best practices in their platform. Before we get started, however, I'd like to go through some housekeeping. First of all, participants are muted during the presentation. This is to ensure that we can go through the content uninterrupted. If you have a question, please add it to the Zoom calls Q&A. Michelle, our head of marketing, is watching the chat and will collect all submitted questions. At the end of the presentation, we will take roughly 10 minutes to address these questions directly. We may not go through all the questions, but never fear. Any and all questions we don't get to will be answered by email after the session. Let's get started, shall we? First, I need to go through these disclaimers. This presentation may contain product features that are currently under development. This overview of new technology represents no commitment from Uptime.com to deliver these features in generally available product. Features are subject to change and must not be included in contracts, purchase orders, or sales agreements of any kind. Technical feasibility and market demand will affect final delivery. Pricing and packaging for any new technologies or features discussed or presented have not been determined. Now, a word from our CEO and head of product, Jonathan Franconi.
Got to hit the mute button. All right, thanks, Milo. Thanks for the introduction, and thanks for get the legal stuff out of the way. I'm thrilled to be introducing our new webinar series for current customers, new customers, potential customers, and anyone that is interested in observability and monitoring in general. I've come from a background of monitoring and observability. My whole career has been built on this. And it's been very near and dear to me here since I joined Uptime to start a webinar series where we can enable anyone to learn more about how to monitor better. And let's be honest, it's an extremely challenging job, and it's extremely pressure and stressful responsibility, not just making sure your services are available, your websites are up, but also communication, managing the expectations of your customers. And it starts with monitoring. So I started, as soon as I joined, I said, listen, we got to get this webinar series going. It's very crucial to me. We have so many tremendous experts here, part of Uptime. We've been working with customers around the world for many years. And we want to take some of that great knowledge and share it with others and get it out there into the open to help, even if you're not a customer of our services today, or if you are, how do you leverage it better? How do you consume more and ensure that you're using the product to your best of your abilities and best of what we provide to you? But most importantly, it's about showing the industry expertise. This is an extremely fun market. It's extremely challenging at the same time to monitor your services and systems, whether you're doing everything from simple website monitoring to advanced website monitoring to monitoring on-premise systems, hybrid cloud, all the way down into Kubernetes to VMs. It's across the board. This is an extremely challenging environment, and we're here to help you. And that's what we really wanted to do with these webinars. So this is our first one, right? This is our first kickoff. We have a whole list of over 20 topics and sessions that we've planned for the entire year. There's never a moment that we have nothing to talk about. So this is our first one. We said, listen, let's start with an easy one. How do I monitor my website the best we possibly can? I've never done this before, or I've done it before. Is there some tips that you can give me? So that's what we built here today. A quick couple slides of our best practices that we've seen across our customers that we recommend them leveraging. And we're going to go deeper. Each one of our webinar series is going to get more and more in depth. And we're going to get more and more technical and deeper into certain areas, right? Like SLA, synthetic monitoring, understanding when your service is down, how to troubleshoot that those down events, and most importantly, how to communicate incidents, right? Which is another big component of incident of monitoring and incident management. What happens when something is down, right? How do I communicate to my customer? So we really want this to be an opportunity for interactive learning. We've been, like I said before, crossing over so many different lines of business, different markets, different customers. We have so much that we can offer to the market and offer to you all, so you can all learn and get better at using not only our services, but also making sure your services are always available. So really looking forward to this year from product aside from this webinar series. So already see quite a few names and faces that I'm familiar with. Welcome. Glad you could make it. And I'll turn it right back over. Well,
awesome. Thank you, Jonathan.
And yes, I'll introduce Milo quick. So Milo is our presenter today. Milo, let you introduce yourself. He's one of our customer success advisors, and we do have a customer success team that can that works with our current customers today. And if you have any questions or you need help or assistance, they're there to work with you. And of course, our tremendous support team. Milo?
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. A little bit about me. I am an IT customer success professional for over 28 years. I'm ITIL certified service management professional. I'm also a project management professional. A lot of professionals out there. I'm also a trusted advisor. Everybody here at Uptime.com is a trusted advisor, so feel free to reach out and talk. All right, so I'll quickly go through our agenda for today. First, I'll be introducing our leadership team. Then I'll do a brief message about our mission. Then the Uptime advantage, or what makes our platform special. Next, why partner with Uptime for your monitoring needs. Then we'll cover best practices for setting up mission critical check types, leveraging alerting channels, and reporting your availability. If we have some time, we'll jump into the UI and I'll show you everything that we have talked about so far, although I do have some videos embedded within the presentation. And then we'll discuss the upcoming webinars. So our leadership team, Jonathan, you've already met. He's our CEO and head of product. Next, we got Barack, who is our co-founder and CTO. We have Serena, who's the head of people. Corey, our head of design. Alexi, our VP of engineering. My boss, Elias, who's the VP of support and customer success. We have Tom, who's the technical product manager. We have Kate, who's the senior product owner. And then we've got Mason, who is one of our front-end developers. So, what is the Uptime.com mission? To lead the future of website monitoring. We provide comprehensive, flexible, and easy-to-use website availability platform designed for industry experts with insights and collaboration, partners like you. We are trusted by thousands of organizations worldwide, from the smallest shop to international corporations, as well as governmental departments. Uptime's innovative tools, features, and solutions empower our users to maximize their website performance uptime. Building the platform is only the first step. We pride ourselves in our award-winning customer service team, which is available 24/7 by 365 to help you if you have an outage. Monitoring never sleeps, and neither do we. The Uptime.com advantage. User experience is at the forefront of our minds to make your life as easy as possible. Our dynamic visualizations and dashboards provide instant statistics that allow you to drill down into the details on each and every check created. Build your custom views to always keep an eye on top-level performance. Our platform fits into any tech stack with ease. We natively integrate with popular DevOps tools such as Slack, PagerDuty, as well as many more, so our alerts go straight to your existing workflows. These alerts come with built-in root cause and real-time analysis to make your investigation that much quicker. Finally, what's the point of all this legwork if you can't communicate your availability? Each of our 21 and counting check types automatically record performance metrics. This KPI and SLA data gets sent straight to our intuitive reports as well as our status pages. Manual SLA calculation and report delivery is a thing of the past with Uptime. All right, you may be asking yourself, this is what I would expect from any monitoring provider. So why Uptime.com? Simply put, the answer is simplicity itself. We are building the monitoring platform for both the power user and the layman, and that demands special attention to user experience. Setup is quick and efficient, alerts make sense, and flow straight to incident management and end-of-month reports. If you want to get fancy, our fully fledged REST API and Terraformer provider lets you go beyond the UI to meet the niche use cases. Every website needs monitoring, so we make sure anyone can be set up and running in 15 minutes or less. You'll experience intuitive navigation and top-tier reliability as we redefine what it means to make monitoring systems accessible for everyone. How do we achieve this? As you can see all these bullet points up here, simplicity. Like I said, our interface is both easy and simple to use. Security, our incident management platform is secure, so your data is protected. Reliability, we live and die by our own availability. We will automatically inform you of unexpected web incidents as soon as they happen. Scalability, as your needs grow, we'll grow with you. Powerful tools. Our check types, and it's going on 21 plus, that are easy to configure and manage. And finally, complete visibility into on-premise, cloud, and hybrid infrastructures from a single point of view. Look, we've discussed a lot so far. There's a lot on this screen, so let me give you a second to, take a time to read this screen and then digest it. And maybe even post a question up in the Q&A chat while I take a drink of water. And no, this is not vodka. All right, moving on. Let's discuss and dive into the top 3 monitoring website best practices, which is the focus of today's discussion. First off is setting up mission critical check types. Remember, we have over 21 check sites to choose from, so selecting the one that you need is essential. Next, we'll discuss leveraging alerting channels. Make sure the alert gets to the right place every time. And finally, report on your availability. Having all this insight is amazing. Time to share it to either yourself, your leadership, or your customers. Or better yet, custom visibility for all 3 at the same time. I'll go through each of these to show you why they're important, why you need these in place to achieve that peace of mind. All right, now let's discuss setting up mission critical check types. As mentioned, we currently have over 21 different check types to choose from based on your individual needs, but here are 3 of the most important ones. First off is HTTP checks, which is hands down the workhorse of our platform. HTTP check validate an endpoint is up or down and returns the expected response. If it's up, it will return an error or a code of 200. If it's not, it won't return that. Another check is the SSL cert expiry. The whole point of this check is to validate that this certificate is still valid and warns you in advance when you need to renew it. Save yourself the hassle of a last-minute scramble by giving yourself weeks of warning to get your cert renewed. Another check is the DNS check or the domain name system check, which is another one of our primary website monitoring tools that we advocate. Within Uptime.com, we test for DNS failures as well as changes and provide technical data for your team to respond to. This check will get you one step closer to answering the age-old question: is it a DNS or the back-end server? As I mentioned in the previous slide, configuring your alerting channels is the next step once you configure your mission critical check. Ensuring that your team emails, DevOps tools, and personal devices are configured for the receiving alerts on the right checks is absolutely critical. You can also use third-party tools that you integrate with Uptime for these alerts. I'll discuss that in greater detail in the next slide. You can also send alerts to specific internal users for these checks based on duties and hours. The last piece of the puzzle is to ensure that you whitelist Uptime's probe servers. Probe servers are the globally dispersed servers that we use to ping your endpoints. It's important to note that you must whitelist all addresses within a location bundle, basically all the servers that you selected. And finally, be sure to subscribe to Uptime.com status page to receive updates on the probe servers. It's rare, but occasionally our locations have outages. Also, from time to time, we expand our network and add new probe server addresses. Be on the lookout for status page notifications so you can act accordingly. So next, I'm going to go through a quick video of the Uptime Intelligent Analyzer. Let me show you an example of how we can hit all the mission critical check types in just a few simple clicks using the Uptime Intelligent Analyzer. This tool runs a domain health check to obtain the status of general services, including DNS, web server, mail server, and blacklist. This service status of these checks is included in the report that's generated. So let me kick this off real quick and I'll discuss what's going through this. So basically to kick this off, you select it on the left-hand menu and you enter in your domain and you press go. This takes a couple of minutes, maybe, to complete. And as it's working, going through all of these checks, it's populating the buckets and information to the screen. So you're seeing it happen in real time. If you're seeing any errors come up, any warnings, or if it's passed, it'll be displayed on the screen for each of these categories. It offers excellent visibility into your website and how everything is working. Now you'll notice they're starting to pop up. One is already showing an error. If you see information you want to look at, to the right is a more information button. You just click on that, look and see what is causing the issue, and you can provide this information to your developers so they can make this experience that much better. Next, let's talk about leveraging alerting channels. To clarify our terminology, alerting channel, that's equaling a contact in the object UI or the user interface. The best practice we advocate is first segment by channel and not by user. And by this, I mean internal users and not external users. Within the user interface, you can create essentially unlimited contacts. So get granular and specific or specify exactly what channel you want to alert delivered to. An example of this is you got John. He's in the not team email. He's a member of the team's Slack channel for incidents, and also has a personal device for after hours text alerts. Split all those up into 3 separate contacts. That way you can specify which checks to send alerts to and when. We also recommend that you integrate your alerting with your tech stack, leveraging third-party tools such as Slack, Teams, PagerDuty, and a ton of other vendors that we have immediately available. It's so easy to choose from and configure. This helps ensure you are notified using the tools that you already use. Cut down on tool bloat and integrate Uptime with your existing workflows and application. Also, power users may have already built your own alerting tool, which we absolutely respect. You can leverage custom postback webhooks where you can integrate with any homebrewed solution you may have in place. And for everything else, we integrate with Zapier. In case you didn't know, Zapier is an online automation tool that connects your apps and services. If we do not support your tool natively, you can utilize Zapier to deliver that alert from Uptime to your tool of choice. Next, avoid alert fatigue with escalations. Oftentimes, companies set up alerts without thinking who may be on call at the time, or they just use a blanket escalation list. Or even worse, they don't even have an escalation policy in place. Best practice here is establishing on-call hours for your contacts per platform that are centric to the contact. We also advocate building an escalation policy or matrix that can be utilized for that check. By using an escalation matrix, you can design your alerts to go to who needs to get them at the right time and the correct method. By that, I mean email, phone call, texting, or third-party tools. This way, if a frontline alert gets ignored or missed, extended outages move up the tree and alert the next in line. Another best practice is to hold off utilizing direct phone calls or text alerts unless there is an extended outage occurring. Nobody likes getting a text or a phone call unless it's an emergency, so save it until it's absolutely needed and it's deeper in the escalation tree. So an example of this would be one of your site's experiences slow time loading. Depending on the priority you associate with that, the first alert you could set is an email to the team responsible for that site, informing them something's going on. Let's say the degradation continues. Now, let's say it's past 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So again, you select the priority on that. The next logical step would be to send an alert to the team lead. That's via email, and so on until hopefully this doesn't happen. The CTO could get a phone call. As you can see, setting up alerts and escalations can be granular and effective. If your contacts are not segregated by channel, you could have multiple alerts sent to teams that they really don't need to be engaged with. So let me show you an example really quick of what we're talking about with setting up your contacts and your channels. Kick off this quick little video. So if you wanted to set this thing up, you would go to notifications and select contacts. So the first one we're going to set up is an email alert to team A, let's say. So in this interface, you would specify the name you want to save it, and then you're going to want to set up the emails. Now notice you can add multiple emails to this list so you can set several people in this alert. Now I can't stress it enough, name this thing appropriately so you know when you're setting it up in the alert what it is. When you completed it, save it. Don't cancel it, save it. And then you can set up for the next one, which is setting up a texting contact. So Team A also has a bunch of texts that could potentially go out or SMS. You would label this thing appropriately, and then you'd enter in the phone numbers that you want to text. And again, you can add multiples. You save it. And then the next thing that we're going to enter in is an integration. So it's very easy to do this in multiple different places. In here, however, you can do it right within adding a contact. If you had integrations already set up, it would be under that list of integrations, but right now there aren't any set up, so you can add a new profile here, which will bring you straight to the integrations user interface, where you can select over one of 20 plus different integrations already in there. Once you find the one you want to do, you complete it, set up the configuration, and save it. Then you can go into the alert and then set it up to be used in that alert. It's very simple, very easy to use. So let's move on to reporting your availability. First, the first level of reporting availability is within the UI and the dashboard. Dashboards are a means for you to show at a glance single pane views of data that utilize an overview of the checks you are currently managing. Performance graph visualizations for certain checks are available, and color keys make it easy to tell what's up and what's down. If it's up, it'll be green. If it's down, it'll be red. Very intuitive. Customize each dashboard to your exact needs and then put it up on a prominently displayed TV or monitor in your office. If you need multiple dashboards, rinse and repeat. Next, we have SLA reports. The Uptime SLA report allows your organization to report on specific checks or systems for the purpose of SLA accountability. SLA reports can deliver critical uptime and response time metrics to relevant stakeholders in the preferred file type. There is no limit to the number of SLA reports you can generate, but it is best practice to ensure the relevant check types are included based on the viewing audience. Key stakeholders will be digesting this data. And finally, for SLA reporting, you can schedule these reports for automatic delivery. Within Uptime, it is extremely easy to schedule a report to be sent based on your specific audience. Select your required variables like delivery interval and time frame, file type, and then the list of recipients. Click Save and enjoy the free time of one less end-of-month task. Next, let's discuss status pages. You can fine-tune these pages for internal users or to be customer-facing. The easy part is the creation of these pages. The hardest part is getting your users in the habit of going out there and looking at the first item at outage. It's on you. It's easy to customize what data is shown and how deep into the weeds you want to let them go. This will save your help desk from answering the simple ticket over and over. If something wrong, they'll see it on the status page. Status pages provide transparency on service status, incidents, and maintenance that is or could be occurring. It'll go a long way of building trust with your user base, believe me. Finally, status pages provide a means of proactively communicate with component level notifications. This allows you to enable users to select if they want to be notified of issues across the stack or only on the most relevant services. That wraps up our discussion on getting started with website monitoring best practices. I want to say, however, that we've barely scratched the surface on this topic. We will be unpacking more of this as well as other important topics in future webinars over the next several months. Thank you for attending today's session. I know we've covered a lot of information and there's still a lot more to cover on these topics. For a more comprehensive discussion and a demo on this, please feel free to contact us. Now, let me go through real quick what we're going to be doing over the next couple of months. And again, we've got a lot of webinars scheduled throughout the year. So in February, we're going to discuss how is uptime calculated. In March, we're going to go through why every SRE in DevOps needs a status page. And again, April, we'll go through how mobile apps for website monitoring can improve your user experience. Now, if you have a special topic that you would like us to do a webinar for, please feel free to add it to the Q&A chat, and we'll review it and possibly add it to our list. Another thing, I want to thank you for joining. If you haven't already done so, sign up for a 14-day free trial. This free trial has premium features enabled, and you can get a 10% discount on any paid subscription plan using the link below. You can also contact customer success at success@uptime.com. Now is the time for us to address any questions that you may have. I'm going to turn this over to Alex. Alex is one of our senior customer success advisors, and he's very knowledgeable about the product and everything to do with Uptime. So take it away, Alex.
Thanks, Milo. And thanks again to everyone that joined the webinar. It's great to see all the familiar names here, and new names too. We're glad to get the word out across all aspects of our clients, existing and prospective. Again, also thanks to everyone that submitted a question into the Q&A chat. We've gone ahead and selected a few of those to answer now. Again, like Milo said, if we do not have time to answer your question live during this session, we will follow up in an email afterwards and make sure that you get the information you need. So without further ado, I will get into some of these quick questions here. So first one we got is a basic one, kind of housekeeping. Can I get a recording of this session sent to my email? Yes, of course. Any people that signed up, attendees that could make it or could not, we will be uploading the video of this session to our YouTube channel, and we will be sharing that link out with you guys directly. So in the future, for any other webinars, if you do have to drop out a little bit early, or if you can't make it due to other scheduling reasons, don't worry, we'll be able to get you the recording after the fact. All right, next question. Can I use MFA or multi-factor authentication with uptime.com? Another great question. Obviously, account security is of the utmost priority to us here at uptime.com. And so it's really important that we are providing the security tools that you guys need to match your own security policies and to otherwise have the peace of mind that, you know, the resources you have here are protected. So currently we provide we are accessible with both one-time passwords as well as, you know, the wide variety of authentication applications like Google Authentication and others. So that can be enabled for each user, and also admins of the account can require multi-factor authentication. So if that's something that you guys need, then we support it, and we can make sure that you guys are matching your own policies. Moving through these, one more question as we are running up against our half-hour time limit. What if my websites are internal only and not publicly accessible? How do I monitor those? That's a great question that we actually get all the time here in customer success and in support. Generally speaking, our probe servers are accessing publicly accessible endpoints. So, but sometimes you have websites that are crucial to your business or to your organization that are not publicly accessible. They're for internal use only. And we have a tool exactly built for that. It's called private location monitoring. This is a containerized version of one of our global external probe servers that you can deploy internally, whether that's in your whether it's in your cloud tenant, whether it's your on-prem resources, or just otherwise not publicly accessible endpoints. So you go ahead, reach out to us as support. We can get you a probe trial. You can test out the functionality, and you can get all the same check types and monitoring tools that are available for the publicly accessible things, but are securely being monitored from within your infrastructure with no worries of security. All it needs is outbound access to send the metrics back to the central server. So yeah, so if you have internal resources that need the same level of availability reporting, we can do that for you. Thanks guys again for submitting the questions. Like I said, we will get back to you in email if I didn't have time to answer your question today. But that wraps up our Q&A session.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. All right, that ends this webinar session, and looking forward to seeing you all on the next session. Jonathan, any words you want to say before we shut this down?
No, thank you everyone for attending. We look forward to the next couple sessions, and I hope this is valuable to everyone. And we would love to see you join our service. And if you're using it already, hope you get the best out of it. And we have some great new product enhancements on the way and continuously happening. So keep a close eye on our release notes and our blog posts. Thanks.
Thank you.